Hi, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Today's story is titled The Day You Begin, and the author is Jacqueline Woodson, and it is illustrated by Rafael Lopez. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you. There are lots of different reasons to feel different. Maybe it's how you look or talk or where you're from. Maybe it's what you eat or something just as random. Whatever it is, it's not easy to take those first steps into a place where nobody knows you, but somehow you do it. Jacqueline Woodson's lyrical text and Rafael Lopez's dazzling art celebrate the bravery it takes to go forth even when you feel like an outsider. And they remind us that sometimes when we reach out and begin to share our story, others will be happy to meet us halfway. So can you think of a time that you have felt like an outsider? Well, I want you to not only think about a time where you have felt like an outsider, but now think about some of your friends or classmates that you know that might either be new here or they might be feeling like an outsider, and think about how you can help them feel more comfortable and like a part of your group. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this wonderful story. Okay. It says, The Day You Begin. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you. Maybe it will be your skin, your clothes, or the curl of your hair. There will be times when no one understands the way words curl from your mouth, the beautiful language of the country you left behind. My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. And because they don't understand, the classroom will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone. Rigoberto, from Venezuela, your teacher says so soft and beautifully that your name and homeland sound like flowers blooming, the first bright notes of a song. There will be times when the words don't come. Your own voice, once huge, now smaller. When the teacher asks, "What did you do last summer?" Tell the class your story. We went to France, Chyla says. These shells came from a beach in Maine. A boy named Jonathan holds out a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile they look like they'll turn to dust in your own untraveled hands. My whole family went to India, Spain, South Carolina. Each souvenir a small triumph of a journey. Their travels going on and on. And as you stand in front of that room, you can only remember how the heat waved as it lifted off the curb, and your days spent at home caring for your little sister, who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books you kept on reading long after she had fallen to sleep. And in that room, where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your own empty hands and wonder, what good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going somewhere? There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is too strange or too unfamiliar for others to love you as you do. When even your own friend Naja will wrinkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" And you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. It looks like this is called like a bento box, so each layer of the containers has different food in it. So it looks like this is her friend Naja, and she has a sandwich, but then she has the rice and kimchi. There will be times when the climbing bars are too high, the run is too fast and far, the game isn't one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can watch. Maybe you can have a team later. Think about, has that ever happened to you, and how did it make you feel? And what can you do to make sure that nobody else in your classroom ever feels that way? There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. I like how the illustrator demonstrated that. So it looks like he's all the way over here looking in on all the other kids having fun together. And all that stands beside you is your own brave self, steady as steel and ready, even though you don't know what you're ready for. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer with my sister, you tell the class, your voice stronger than it was a minute ago, reading books and telling stories, and even though we were right on our block, it was like we got to go everywhere. And look, I notice how much happier she is now that she's able to find her voice to tell her story. So she's no longer embarrassed to tell what she did, even if it wasn't going to other countries like her classmates did. Your name is like my sister's, Rigoberto says. Her name is Angelina too. And all at once, in the room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make some space for you. So here they thought that none of them had anything in common, and Rigoberto has a sister that's named her name, Angelina. So once you get to talking to people and get to know them, you might find a lot of things that you have in common. This is the day you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel, and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you, and something else so fabulously not quite like you at all. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon.